9:48 p.m. on Sunday night, the 5th of April 2026. What you're looking at here is a 30-second exposure intended to reveal more of that NGC 3555 galaxy group in Leo. We're getting a little bit of distension, however. And it's likely to be caused, I got the laptop plugged in, and I also rebooted it to make sure resources are good. But it's likely to be caused by the fact we have high thin clouds, which may smear the stars a little bit and cause triangulation to be an issue. Let me tell you a little bit about the two galaxies that make up NGC 3555 series and have NGC designations. I'm going to give you the fainter one, more westerly one first, and that's probably this double pair of galaxies right here. Let me zoom in just a little bit, and I'll give you the data on it. However, that could be a double core because the extensions are going off in that direction. Anyway, so data on NGC 3551 before we go off and do the NGC 3600 series this evening. Hopefully we'll be able to complete it. 3551 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15, 1.8 by 1.7 arc-minute elliptical, 399 million light years distant, puts this at about 180,000 light years in diameter. RA is 110944 with a declination of plus 214531. And if I remember correctly, this galaxy actually has a visual magnitude of 14.3. The next galaxy, the brighter galaxy in the series, is NGC 3555, Galaxy Leo, magnitude 12.8. Smaller, 0.4 by 0.3 arc minutes. Not likely to be more than 70,000 light years in diameter. It's a lenticular spiral, which blows me away, but its magnitude 12.8 compared to the 14.3 for NGC 3551, which is considered to be an elliptical. This galaxy is 415 million light years distant, RA 110950, with a declination of plus 214836. And with that, we've had our lead in to the NGC 3600 to 3649 series. And here, by the way, is a 4 stacks of 5 seconds each, just for comparison purposes. And we are operating at 105x 70% e-zoom. Our first study in the NGC 3600 series is, in fact, 3600. I may actually do a resync on this galaxy. It's magnitude 11.7, very nice, 4.1 by 0.8 arc minute, lenticular spiral with a lowercase a, 33 million light years distant, not particularly large. So basically it's probably somewhere around 40,000 light years in diameter, but not a bad view at all. NGC 3600. RA 111552 with a declination of plus 41 degrees, 35 minutes, 28 seconds. And we are well progressed before. We're well ahead of any of these studies culminating to the south. So we shouldn't have any issues with aperture block in the roof tri this evening. NGC 3601 is a 13.8 magnitude galaxy in Leo. Let's see if we can track it down. I did recenter a little bit and synchronize on the last galaxy. So I'm pulling it down. I may move this back, may resynchronize again. 3601 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.8. 5.5 by 0.5 arc minutes, 348 million light years distant, probably puts it somewhere around 50 to 60,000 light years in diameter. Spiral with a lowercase ab. Right ascension 111533, declination plus 50656, and I will resynchronize to this as well. NGC 3602 after resynchronizing everything to get things to center a little bit better, is a galaxy in Leo, and I think I know which one it is, and I'll tell you why. It's magnitude 15.7, 0.8 by 0.2 arc minutes, and this has the aspect ratio we might expect, unless it's the double star. It's a spiral with a lowercase b, 268 million light years distant, maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. It's right ascension 11:15:48 with a declination of plus 17:24:55. Let's have a quick look to see if there's any other candidates here, but no, I would say that one's probably it, but adventuresindeepspace.com, and there's our 105x pristine view. NGC 3604 is a brightish galaxy in Leo. It's also 3611, magnitude 12.1. And let's do a little bit of zoomage. Yes, indeed, we could see it from the beginning, which isn't too bad. It's got a very vague neighbor next to it to the south. 2 by 1.6 arc minutes. Need to run the magnification up a little bit. It's a spiral with a lowercase a. We are seeing some extensions. 74 million light years distant puts it roughly at about 45,000 light years in diameter. RA 111730 with a declination of plus 43317. NGC 3605, we're going to have to move along. There seems to be a lot of galaxies tonight. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.3, 1.4 by 0.9 elliptical, 27 million light years distant. RA 111646, declination plus 180101. What a nice view of 3 galaxies. NGC 3607 is in the same galaxy group. It's probably this one here. It's magnitude 9.9, 4.6 by 4 arc minute lenticular spiral. So this was probably our previous galaxy here. 38 million light years distant, so it's not particularly large, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter. We'll be seeing more of this one. This was not an NGC, this may be. We're at right ascension 111654, declination plus 180305. Okay, NGC 3608 was that fainter but still quite bright neighboring galaxy here. Oh boy. I'm going to pause for a second so I can get the data. NGC 3608, galaxy in Leo, magnitude 10.8. Yeah, it's quite brilliant. 3.5 by 3 arc minutes in size, elliptical, 46 million light years distant, probably maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 111658, declination plus 180854. These are probably the 3 galaxies we just had in order. NGC 3609, I believe, is quite visible there. Galaxy in Leo, and since it is magnitude 13.1, that tells us the sky is actually cleared up quite nicely. 1.2 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, and an annularity. And if we can see the frontier, then we know we have the annularity, and we are seeing it. That annularity is going to be somewhere around magnitude 17. Right ascension is 111750 with a declination plus 262730. 361 million light years distant means this was probably somewhere around 125,000 light years in diameter. Very nice view. Only a click away from our previous galaxy is NGC 3612, galaxy in Leo. We'll have a look at all of these galaxies now at 105x. 5 stacks, magnitude 14.2, 1 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase cd. We're looking for something without much of a core, and I suspect that may be it. Right ascension is 111814, declination plus 263713. It's also quite distant, 360 million light years, probably puts it about 125,000 light years in diameter. NGC 3615 is this galaxy visible right towards the center of the field. Now, it could be either one of these. Let's see if we can figure it out. Magnitude 12.8, 1.4 by 0.9 arc minute elliptical. Well, I would probably assume it's this one then. It's also got the right aspect ratio. 303 million light years distant, puts it about 100,000 light years in diameter. Let's push it up to 100% e-zoom. We're getting good views of stars tonight for that. We're at RA 111806 with a declination of plus 23, 2349. Not too bad. NGC 3617 is a deep south galaxy, minus 26 degrees. Not sure where it'll turn up in the field, but let's just center all of this up. Magnitude 12.8, 2.8 by 2 arc minutes in size. It's an elliptical, so we're looking for the brightest core. 97 million light years distant means it's probably somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter. Remember, we are deep south. This is probably the brightest galaxy here, and it does have a core. We're at RA 111750 with a declination of minus 2608 and 4 seconds. Pushing it in a little bit, zooming around, seeing if there's anything here that's obvious. Aha! This may very well be our galaxy. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com. Look for it to be north and east of probably what is a 10th magnitude star. Back up into Leo for NGC 3618. Push it up. There's a faintish galaxy there without much of a core. Let's see what it is. Magnitude 13.6, 0.9 by 0.8 arc minute spiral with a bar and a ring. Well, we've got the ring. 309 million light years distant. Size is probably somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter. RA 111832, declination plus 23, 2806. Here's a 150x view, clearly representing the ring and annularity. Our next study should be quite familiar. NGC 3623 is also Messier 65. This is Messier 66, and this is NGC 3628, I do believe. Let's get them both here in the field. This is only a 5-second exposure, folks, and this looks really nice. It's magnitude 9.39 by 2.3 arc minutes in size, 32 million light years distant, means this Messier 65 is about 90 to 100,000 light years in diameter. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase a. Very bright core, lots of texture. Even more texture and slightly more tilted and disturbed than Messier 66. We're at RA 111855, declination plus 130531. NGC 3624 is a very distant galaxy, and it's quite apparent there on the screen. It's in Leo. Magnitude 13.9, 0.9 by 0.6 arc minute spiral with a bar lowercase b. 496 million light years distant means this is roughly about 150,000 light years in diameter, size of Messier 31. However, it's about 0.6 magnitudes brighter than Messier 31 would be at that distance. RA is 111850 with a declination of plus 73115. This is a spiral with a bar and lowercase b, and I do believe that's the same classification of Messier 31. NGC 3626 is quite apparent in the middle of the field. Back it down to our optimal magnification, 105x. It's also NGC 3632. It's 3.2 by 2.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, so well developed. 68 million light years distant means its size is probably somewhere around 50,000 light years in diameter. RA 112003, declination plus 182124. We are making good progress tonight. We're at NGC 3626, and we're not quite 15 minutes into this astral fit. Okay, we are now featuring NGC 3627, aka Messier 66. 8.9 magnitude, slightly brighter, 9.1 by 4.1, slightly larger than Messier 65, or actually twice as large, spiral with a bar lowercase b. 29 million light years distant means this one's probably somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter. It's at right ascension 11:20:15, declination plus 12:59:26. I would imagine that some of this really bright nebulosity and texture we're seeing here may also have its own NGC designation, but I can't be sure about that. Certainly that was the case with NGC 2903. Okay, we are getting some pretty solid views tonight on galaxies and with texture at 5-second exposure times. We need a few more stacks on NGC 3628 to bring out all of its glory. It's a galaxy in Leo, part of the Leo trio. Magnitude 9.5, so about as bright as the others, but it's much larger, 13.1 by 3.1 arc minutes. Gives it a 4:1 aspect ratio, spiral with a lowercase b. 32 million light years distant. RA is 11:20:16 with a declination of plus 13:35:19. I believe our own galaxy is a spiral with a lowercase b and a c, so not quite as well developed as NGC 3628. But Messier 31, the Andromeda galaxy, is a spiral b, so it is comparable, but significantly larger. 150,000 light years in diameter for Messier 31. And for this one, I think I just said it's probably about 110,000 light years in diameter. A great view. NGC 3629 is quite apparent in the middle of the field. It is a galaxy with a bit of a core, so maybe it's a C in Leo, magnitude 12.1, 2 by 1.5 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, and we can see that, and a lowercase c. 67 million light years distant means this isn't particularly large, maybe 35 to 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 11:20:31 with a declination of plus 26 degrees, 57 minutes, and 45 seconds. You'd almost think it has an annularity, but it isn't rated for that. Look in the skylive.com and see how the spiral arms wrap around the extensions. If it goes 360 degrees, it's got a ring to it. NGC 3630 is quite apparent in the field. It's an edge-on galaxy, Leo. It's also NGC 3645. Magnitude 11.9, 2 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a. Yes, with a very bright core. 74 million light years distant means it's probably no more than 45,000 light years in diameter. RA 11:20:16 with a declination of plus 2 degrees, 57 minutes, 51 seconds. Probably worthy of a 150x view. And there we have it. NGC 3633 seems quite apparent in the field. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.6, 1.1 by 0.4, almost 3:1 aspect ratio. Look at that core. Doesn't seem to, it should have a bar, but it isn't. Spiral with a lowercase ab, 118 million light years distant. Puts it at about 40,000 light years in diameter. Let's go on up to 150x for an exit. Oh, right ascension 11:20:26, declination plus 3 degrees, 35 minutes, 9 seconds. Nice view of a magnitude 13.6 edgy-on galaxy. NGC 3634 is a little further south in Quattro. Looks like there's a double core there, maybe two neighboring galaxies. It's magnitude 15.5, really. It's an elliptical, 0.7 by 0.5, so it's probably around magnitude 14. Not a bad view for minus 9 degrees and 50 seconds. Right ascension 11:20:30, NGC 3634. Push it, 150x. It does look like a pair of galaxies there interacting, doesn't it? And yes, that other galaxy is NGC 3635. It's Galaxian crater. Magnitude 16, 1.3 by 1 arc minute. Seems like they might have them reversed in terms of brightness. 312 million light years distant, puts it at about 100,000 light years in diameter. RA is 112031 with a declination of -9 and 49 seconds. There's our view of NGC 3635. And just to check, I did press the Go To button and it hardly moved at all. NGC 3636 must be very near this rather brightish star. Okay, I suspect it's right there. Galaxy in crater, magnitude 12.4, that works. 1.7 by 1.7 elliptical, 78 million light years distant, probably somewhere around 50,000, maybe a little less. Could be this one here, however. In diameter, RA is 112025 with a declination of -10, 1655. Let's see if we make a leap. Yes, indeed. That slightly brighter galaxy is NGC 3637. I'll give you the data on it here. Likewise, it's in crater and it's near that probably third or fourth magnitude star. Magnitude 12.7, 1.8 by 1.7 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a bar of the lenticular class and an angularity, and I do believe we're seeing the angularity, especially very good night of seeing. 79 million light years distant puts this at about 40,000 light years in diameter. RA is 112039, declination -10, 1527. You know, I really want to push the magnification up on this one. Okay, so now we're operating at 300x. Not the most aesthetic views, and we're starting to see the matrix in the screen. NGC 3638 seems to be apparent in the field, and yes it is. Let me go ahead and run it up to the 100. Got a good stars tonight, 150x view, 100% e-zoom, maximum photonage. This galaxy is 3638, is in crater, magnitude 15, 2.3 by 0.7 arc minutes. Yes, we are making out the extension, spiral with a lowercase b. 325 million light years distant, puts this one well over 200,000 light years in diameter. RA is 112010 with a declination of -8 degrees, 6 minutes and 21 seconds. Back it off for its optimal view in its starry field, and that's our NGC 3638. NGC 3639 has a very distant edge-on galaxy, but that's not our baby. Here it is. Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.6, 0.6 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with some peculiarities. Now I'm seeing something that may be interacting with it right there. That may be the peculiarity. That's at 150x, 0.6 by 0.5, 247 million light years distant, means it's probably no more than 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 112135, declination plus 18, 27, and 30. Got to quicken the pace. NGC 3640 is a galaxy in Leo. Very, very bright. Magnitude 10.4, 4.5 by 4 arc minute elliptical, 55 million light years distant. Go figure. RA 112106 with a declination of +3 degrees, 14 minutes and 5 seconds. NGC 3641 is another galaxy in Leo. Magnitude 13.2. I think we're seeing it, especially if it's got a bright core. That's not a star. 0.8 by 0.8 arc minutes. Elliptical, 83 million light years distant. Kind of tiny, maybe 25,000 light years in diameter. RA 112108, declination +3, 1140. Okay, NGC 3643 is likely to be that edge-on galaxy we were seeing earlier. Magnitude 14.1. Let's get her up to a maximum magnification because the stars look great tonight. Galaxy Leo 14.1, 0.6 by 0.3 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lenticular A. Yeah, has the brightest core, but it has some serious extensions on it. 81 million light years distant, means it's probably no more than 25 to 30,000 light years in diameter. RA 112125, declination +3 degrees and 49 seconds. NGC 3644 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.7. There's a rather brightish one here, but I doubt it's it. Gonna have to figure this one out. Everything else is lined up pretty good since I redid the alignment. Magnitude 13.7, 1.5, oh yeah, by 0.7 arc minute spiral with a lowercase a, and we're about to get a slow walker passing right by it. 325 million light years distant means about 140,000 light years in diameter. RA 112132 with a declination of +2 degrees, 48 minutes, 37 seconds. Please make a right angle turn so I can claim that I have imaged another UFO. NGC 3646 is that very bright galaxy in the middle of the field. We're seeing extensions and we're seeing some bright, really bright development knots to the west, and mostly to the west and slightly to the north. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 11.1, 3.9 by 2.2 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase c, so yeah, it's got that starry condensed core, 192 million light years distant. Puts it about 225,000 light years in diameter, RA 112143, with a declination of +20 degrees, 10 minutes, and 11 seconds. Wow, what an extraordinary view. NGC 3647 is another galaxy in Leo. Magnitude 15.6, 0.4 by 0.4 arc minutes. And we're looking for something that's really condensed. It's going to be a compact galaxy, 877 million light years distant, somewhere in this field is that distant galaxy. At 0.4 by 0.4, it's roughly going to be somewhere around 130,000 light years in diameter. It's a compact, so fairly bright. Right ascension 112138. Declination +2 degrees, 53 minutes and 29 seconds. Here's an 11 stack view. Okay, we're getting a little light scatter off the roof tri, but we're looking for NGC, and it's probably way down bottom. I have to redo the modeling, apparently. NGC 3648, galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 12.6, 1.3 by 0.8, lenticular spiral, 98 million light years distant, so maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 112231 with a declination of +39, 5235. Yes, kids, there is an NGC 3649 in this 3600 to 49 series. We are looking for a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.7, 1.4 by 1.6. It's very near that really fine galaxy that we saw earlier, NGC 3646. It's 202 million light years distant, spiral with a bar and a lowercase a. Wow. That's my candidate right there. But all we're seeing is the core, 202 million light years distant, so it's about 85,000 light years in diameter. RA 112214 with a declination of +20, 12, 30, and you know what our exit study is going to be. Okay, we've got one stack of NGC 3646 and I believe 49, maybe this one here. And let's do a little zoom in and prepare. Yes, it is 3649. We are getting a little distension at 30 seconds. Maybe I moved. Anyway, 3646 was that brilliant magnitude 11.1, 3.9 by 2.2 arc minute sized galaxy that was so filled with texture, as you can well see. 192 million light years distant, so roughly some 200,000 plus light years in diameter. RA 112143 with a declination of +20 degrees, 10 minutes and 11 seconds. Meanwhile, I believe NGC 3649 has now revealed itself there. And I think we can do a little more zoomage without too much damage to the view, especially of NGC 3646. I would like to be able to do a 60-second exposure, but we are getting distension. So I am going to leave it at that and say, with a great deal of appreciation for the really fine night sky we got after all kinds of clouds were rolling up in the early evening, carpe noctem.